Not Julez Smith being caught up in yet another scandal. There are now reports making rounds claiming that he smokes all day, every day, uses ease, and is also using other things. And honestly, people are completely stunned by how far out of control things have gotten.
I really don't know. I don't know. But I'm just trying to butter him up, trying to get him to come back to the room. So he's like, I'm smoking right now. I'm gonna come back up to the room. So boom. It's so hard. Like, I just know that he's on something. So I asked him, I'm like, ain't no way you don't do. So he's like, yeah, I do ease. I do ease. But anyways, yeah.
For someone who was literally handed every blessing on a silver platter, from high fashion runways to the ultimate industry connections, watching him spiral like this has the entire internet shaking its head. So what's the problem, guys? Mommy issues? Daddy issues? Cry for help? I personally just can't, y'all. Anywho, if there is one person in that family who is looking at Julez's whole situation sideways, it is reportedly Blue Ivy. Allegedly, Blue is not holding back behind closed doors, and she is totally judging Julez heavily for how he's living his life, and even giving reasons about why she thinks her cousin is an addict. Well, one thing that people have pointed out, which Blue allegedly agrees with, is Julez's rocky upbringing may have led to his addiction. I know not so many people know his dad, Daniel Smith, who met Solange when they were still very young, and Solange ended up getting pregnant when she was 17 years old, and Daniel was 19 years old. The high school sweethearts then got married in February of 2004 and moved to Idaho after their marriage, where Daniel Smith attended college. At the time, Solange's parents were unsurprisingly frightened that their teenage daughter wanted to get married and have a baby at 17, but Solange had her mind made up. Unfortunately, Solange and Daniel got divorced 3 years later when she was just 21, and word on the street was that the reason why they got divorced was that Solange only got married because she was pregnant, and also because the marriage was forced by Matthew Knowles for the sake of appearances. Apparently, Daniel never wanted to stay married to the point where Matthew was willing to pay him. Now, as far as Julez is concerned, growing up with two young parents who were isolated from their main support system in Texas created a chaotic foundation. And as experts have always pointed out over the years, early instability in a child's environment can leave long-term emotional scars, often manifesting later as rebellious or impulsive behavior like using. Basically, some people are pointing to his alleged addiction as a cry for help because after the divorce, Solange and Julez relocated to Los Angeles to get her career back on track. And while she kept her career on track, her son Julez was becoming impossible to deal with and started making headlines for all the wrong reasons. I mean, we are talking about someone who during his high-profile online fallout with ex-girlfriend Sky Jackson, leaked messages, made aggressive claims, and even leaked an intimate video of them together just to get revenge. At the time, to a lot of people, this was proof of an unhinged lifestyle that may have stemmed from his alleged heavy using. And based on reports, this is something that Blue Ivy is allegedly referencing. Let's also not forget that Jason Lee was also out here claiming that when Julez was younger, he was actively sliding into Hollywood Unlocked's DMs, and he wasn't just there to say hi. Jason alleged that Julez was trying to leverage the platform's staff to hook him up with different female celebrities, while also looking for a hookup to get his social media accounts verified.
Uncomfortable with Julez in our DMs because me being Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, a gay man, I don't want Julez in our DMs. So I would DM him back and say, hey, Julez, like, you know, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, da-da-da. And then I contacted a friend of mine named Fadia who used to be at Meta to say, hey, can you please get a message to Solange that her son is in our DMs. He wanted us to help him get verified, a whole bunch of different things. So I told Fadia to go and tell Solange, and I know she went.
Then recently, when Twitch streamer Ria Jalisa publicly accused Julez of DV in a hotel room, guys immediately began speculating whether the erratic mood swings she was talking about was because of substance intake.
But because this broke my phone, refused to fix it, pointed a softball at my head. I tried to make amends. I tried to get you to fix my phone. I tried not to come to the internet. I don't give a fuck about someone doing voodoo. I'm from New Orleans. Mary LaVou is one of my ancestors. I'm well protected, well respected. Thank you. I don't give a fuck about no fucking witchcraft.
And let me not even begin with how Julez was caught in yet another embarrassing situation with 41-year-old ex-con Tommy Lee.
They just kissed.
Well, What people have been saying is that no one in their right senses would be behaving the way Julez is behaving unless they are under the influence of something. I mean, Julez has unlimited access, fashion runway bookings, famous family connections, elite social circles, and financial security for life. There's literally no way he's messing up his image and the family's image stone cold sober. And based on reports, allegedly, Blue Ivy thinks it has a lot to do with his daddy issues and mommy issues. Anywho, other than seeing the chaotic relationship between his mom and his dad allegedly, Solange's chaotic dating life so soon after the divorce may have also influenced Julez's choices. See, there was a rumor that Solange was dating Lil Wayne soon after the divorce, even though they both denied it. However, it later became public knowledge that they actually dated when Bow Wow accidentally spilled that tea. He was talking about his career in the chat room Clubhouse when he let it slip that Lil Wayne and Solange briefly dated, not knowing the fling wasn't public knowledge. Moving on. In 2008, Solange was also spotted with football player Julius Peppers at Coachella, and after a couple of appearances together, followers assumed they were an item. This was actually pretty messy cause, if I remember correctly, Julius was her ex-husband's ex-teammate. The relationship probably only lasted a couple of months because in 2009, Solange was linked to rapper Wale. She once again denied the dating rumors and said that Wale was definitely not her boyfriend, adding that they were good friends and were on the same record label. However, a month later, Wale had an interview and he admitted he was in love with her. By this time, Solange was already getting a reputation for sleeping around a lot, among other things, and she defended herself by saying that just like everybody else, she was bound to make mistakes.
Number one, I always acknowledge that I'm 22 years old and that I'm gonna make mistakes as everybody else does, and I'm gonna live to a certain extent of normalcy. And I learned how to sort of, embrace my mistakes, laugh about them, and keep it moving.
Well, even after saying this, she was still linked to other people, like Alan Gerard Ferguson, who was 45 when she was 22. There was also a time when Solange was rumored to be dating John Bogard. In fact, word on the street was that Solange cheated on Alan with John. The thing is, Julez likely saw a constant shift in who was around his home life, and when a young boy lacks a consistent, long-term father figure at home, it can blur his understanding of discipline and commitment. In fact, some people have even pointed out how his own messy online dating history and public altercations directly mirror the fast-paced, high-stakes dating environment he was exposed to from a young age. Like he was watching a revolving door of older guys, rappers, and athletes coming in and out of his mom's life, and he saw public cheating rumors, age gaps, and fast breakups normalized before he was even 10 years old. And I don't know whether he has any kind of relationship with his dad, but either way, guys are saying that his upbringing totally messed him up. Well, at the end of the day, even though Solange did everything to give Julez a good life, moving between cities, living through her shifting career phases, and dealing with step-parents or changing family dynamics can leave a kid feeling like they don't have a solid anchor. That lack of grounding in early childhood often leads people to search for grounding in the wrong places, like wild nightlife, bad company, or substances. So when people ask why Blue Ivy allegedly thinks Julez has addiction issues or makes terrible choices with women, critics say it's because he learned that chaotic lifestyle directly from home. Now, flip the script to Blue Ivy. Honey, Blue was born with a diamond spoon in her mouth. Beyoncé and Jay-Z were already grown, married, and worth hundreds of millions when they had her. Blue didn't grow up seeing messy public breakups or random industry guys chilling on the couch. She grew up with strictly vetted nannies, private tutors, security guards, and parents who run their house like a Fortune 500 company. She was taught discipline, privacy, and how to protect the family brand from the time she could walk. And to see Julez acting out and allegedly using is probably devastating to her. Well, guys, other than the way Julez was brought up, growing up as Beyoncé's nephew and Solange's only son comes with massive expectations. And trying to carve out an identity in fashion or music when your family consists of living legends can cause immense stress. Most times, young Hollywood figures turn to substances or wild party habits to cope with the pressure or feel in control. And we We've seen this happening with so many kids of the Hollywood elites. So maybe Julez also faced the same pressure, and to cope, he started using. Plus, there's also the fact that Julez has pivoted into runway modeling and music production, hanging around older nightlife crowds and influencers who probably use different substances and may have influenced him. I don't know, but I gotta ask you guys, what do you think is the real root cause of the alleged addiction? Is it mommy issues from watching Solange navigate a super young divorce and a fast-moving love life? Is it daddy issues? Or a lack of solid grounding while growing up in the shadow of a massive empire? Or is this just a classic case of too much fame, money, and freedom way too fast with zero boundaries? Just let me know what you think in the comments section below.